Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patric Young and Terry Norvelle.
And here we go, deep in the heart of Mandarin, a kickoff to a Tuesday show, and we're ready to rock and roll. A lot to get to today on the program. We are live at Wings-Julington Creek. You know it by now. We're here every single Tuesday. What a wonderful operation. Josh and Callie, they do a super job running this place. They were patrons that loved the place, and they bought the place, and they have added to it. What a wonderful, wonderful community to just hang out. Great addition to the Mandarin area. They've taken it to the next level. Wings-Julington Creek, our Tuesday home. We're proud to be partnered up with these good folks here with wonderful food, wonderful atmosphere, cold drinks, and just kind of the in place in Mandarin. If you know it, you know it. If you don't, you need to get over here to Julington Creek. Hurricanes right here at the foot of the Julington Creek Bridge. We've got a lot to cover today on the program. We'll talk a lot of college football, Jaguars. I've got a couple topics, including I want to tell you, Jaguar fans, right now, you better use and raise your Scouts honor. I want you to tell the truth. We're going to throw some truth serum out, and you're going to have to use your truth serum all the way to April, the draft. Draft night Thursday, April 24th, 8:20. We're going to talk about that way ahead for the Jaguar fans. So we'll get to that as we go. Portal news, Heisman finalist, the NFL playoff tracker. Man, it is all coming into play. I've got a great read down I'm going to go through about who has qualified in the NFL, who can qualify, who is really struggling to qualify for the playoffs as we will head into week 15 of 18, 15, 16, 17, 18. Some teams have 4 games, some 3, but it is winding down. Today also about 4:20, we hope to talk some Gator Bowl football, bowl game football, if you will. The Gator Bowl, the 2 teams have been picked out. Obviously Sunday, Duke taking on Ole Miss. I like the game. It's one of my top 5 or 6 games outside of the college football playoff. I like the game. We're going to talk with Katie Cox from the Gator Bowl Association, just about how the game came about, how these 2 teams, where these 2 teams will go in terms of the next couple of 2.5, 3 weeks. The game, or actually 3 weeks, the game will be January 2nd. And I love the placement of this year's Gator Bowl game. We'll talk with Katie about this a little bit later. But the Gator Bowl game, Duke taking on Ole Miss, tickets on sale right now. That game will be played Thursday, January 2nd, and really that's the only game in town. That is the only bowl game going on January 2nd. I love that. I think the game's going to be fun, and it's going to be a blast having Lane Kiffin on the First Coast for about a month. It'll be a lot of fun. So a lot to get to today as we work our way through a Tuesday edition of the Young Norvelle Show. Hopefully, Patric will join us a little bit later on the program, and we'll kick around some thoughts that we haven't kicked around with him. We got some people saying the team suck, should have been Miami, Bama, bigger than playoffs. I hear you. Our comment here on the comment section of our website, I hear you, but you got to understand, it's not just this bowl picks who they want, that bowl picks who they want, that bowl. There's a pecking order. There's an order of how it goes, and I wanted Florida, Georgia Tech. If I was picking the Gator Bowl with no parameters, no hands tied, I would have said Georgia Tech and Florida. Well, you know what? The bowl game in Tampa wants the Gators too. And there are pecking orders in the selection, right or wrong, agree or not. There are pecking orders, and I think that's how things set up. I don't necessarily love Alabama, Miami. I mean, good game. I mean, I'm not dying for that game. Both of those guys should have won some more football games. And in Miami's case, the Miami Hurricanes, if let me backtrack. If ever Florida State and Clemson, who have pushed forward legal documents to try and get out of the ACC, if ever they had a chance to talk Miami into joining them, it's now. My God, Miami just went 10-2. And if you think about it, Alabama went 9-3, and they were this close from getting in the college football playoff. This close. Miami was one game better at 10-2, and Miami was this far, not close, this far from getting in because of the weakness of the Atlantic Coast Conference. If ever Miami was asked to join FSU and Clemson in their lawsuit, it's now. Miami is going, now we see what you're talking about, FSU. Is this going to happen in the future? Even when it expands to 14 and 16, are we going to, the ACC, are we going to be punished for going 10-3? If it goes 14, does the ACC get in a 10-3 team? Maybe not, unless they toughen up their conference. Anyway, we'll get into that as we go. Okay, Jaguar talk. Let's lead the show off with some Jaguar talk. This just kind of hit me this morning, but I think you'll agree with me. It's pretty obvious now from afar. I'm not inside the bowels of the stadium, but it's pretty obvious from afar that Jaguars head football coach Doug Peterson and Jaguars general manager Trent Baalke, they don't like each other. They don't play well in the sandbox together. They don't like each other. They are feuding against each other, and they're probably one of them is grabbing Shad Khan's right ear, and one of them is grabbing Shad Khan's left ear. They don't play well. They don't like each other. I think that is very obvious in or out of the stadium workings Monday through Friday. I think we all would agree with that. Now, with that said, at some point, if you are Doug Peterson this year, and I'll say this last 7, 8, 9 months going into the football season, if you're Doug Peterson in that time frame, if you are Trent Baalke in that same time frame, this past 6, 7, 8 months coming into this football season, at some point, don't you, Doug Peterson, don't you, Trent Baalke, have to look up and go, hey, man, maybe you say this to your wife, maybe you bounce it off your wife, but you go, hey, sweetie. And this is Doug Peterson talking. I'll get to Trent Baalke in a minute. This is Doug Peterson. Hey, sweetie. This Jacksonville Jaguar job offer I got to be the head football coach is probably the last one I'm ever going to get in the league. I've used them all up. This is the last time I can keep coaching, probably, if I want to stay coaching in the NFL. But this will be my last head coaching job in the National Football League. Doug Peterson. Conversely, if you are Trent Baalke and you are sitting around your dinner table 5, 6, 7, 8 months ago, leading into this season, if you're Trent Baalke and if you're honest with yourself, don't you have basically the exact same conversation with your wife, except you say, honey, this is probably the last time I am going to get hired to be a general manager the general manager of a National Football League team. This is it, okay? If this goes forever, great. If it flops, I'm done at that level. I can probably stay in football, but at a much lower level. I think both of those scenarios I just laid out, Peterson and Balke, they've got to know that. They have to have known that months ago. With this is a long roundabout way of saying, with all of that on the table, if you're Doug Peterson, knowing you're probably never getting hired as a head coach in the NFL again, this is your final run. If you're Trent Baalke, you must know that you have Peter principled your way to this point. You are never getting hired at a new, fresh job as the general manager. With that being the case, wouldn't you think that Peterson and Baalke on the playground as kids fighting, it looks like, wouldn't you have had a truce? Dude, what are we doing? This is our last stand as head coach, general manager. Why are we fighting each other every step of the way? For God's sakes. Why don't we just lockstep and see how long we can ride this thing out? But they're not. Egotistically, I don't know. Maybe that's it. These two guys, Doug Peterson, newsflash, you are never getting hired in the NFL as a head football coach again. This is it. Write it out, man. Trent Baalke, it's over. You have fooled them this long. This is the final job you will have in the National Football League as the big, bad, powerful general manager of an NFL football team. You've got to know that. Peterson, you've got to know how these guys never got together and said, hey, man, this is it for you. This is it for me. I may not like you and you may not. What are we doing, dude? Let's ride this out. Why are we going to? And it's apparent they hate each other. They don't want to work with each other and they can't. How do you not just go, dude? And I guess we all think we are of more value than we are. I guess Doug Peterson goes, well, maybe I'll never get hired in the NFL again. This is my final head coaching job with the Jacksonville Jaguars, but I'm a much better head coach than he is a general manager. And on the flip side, maybe Trent Baalke is, with all that on the table that I just laid out, maybe Trent Baalke goes, well, you know what? I'm a much, 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 much better general manager of an NFL franchise than Doug Peterson is a coach of an NFL franchise. You know what? I'm going to ride this out. But my goodness, at some point, don't we all have mirrors in our rooms before we head out? And I hope you do. I think you do. Everybody should, if you're an adult, before you head out of the house to tackle the day, to take on the day, before you do that, don't you in the bathroom make one run through and kind of, and maybe even in the bedroom, you've got a full-length mirror. Don't you make one final look-see? Okay, is this what I want to present? Is this how I want to present? Do I need to go back and change shirts? Do I need the iron? Are there two, right? These two, I guess these two guys don't do that. Baalke, Peterson, nobody's lining up to rehire you again as head coach, general manager. This is it. You're done. You can still keep a job in the NFL, but at this level, you're done. Why would you not want to try and put the pettiness. It seems like, it feels like, it sounds like they hate each other so much. Be damned to him, be damned to him. I don't know. Maybe I'm over exaggerating this, but my goodness gracious. A little bit later, we'll get back to the Jaguars. I want to really do a truth serum test with you folks. Now, to do this, you have got to be honest. You know my stance. My stance is I think the Jacksonville Jaguars football organization right now, as we sit here, as we are talking right now, is deep in a hole. And it's a tough hole to climb out. I think one of the only ways the Jaguars can start climbing out is to get that number one pick. Number one pick in the first round and use that leverage to get multiple players, a couple of starting players and a pick. That's my stance, and I'll stay with that all the way through April 24th, 2025, the Thursday night NFL draft kickoff at 8:20. I think if the Jaguars are not picking at 8:20 and you are not seeing the commissioner walk up to that podium and say, there has been a trade. Actually, it may even be announced earlier because it's the first pick. I think that's one of the only ways they can get out of it. I'll stand there, and that's my truth serum. You Jaguar fan, I want to know, winning football games is a bad thing the rest of the way for the franchise? Or do you say win as much as you can? Win, culture, win the culture. Now, if you say win in December and early January, I'm going to hold it to you to be honest. And when that Thursday night rolls around, and it's April 24th, day one, night one of the NFL draft, and you were so happy that your team won a couple more games, and now they're drafting 11th or 9th, you got to be honest with me. April 24th, 2025, 8:20. You can't then go, gosh darn, I wish the Jaguars had the first pick. Man, what a screw up. The Jaguars, why did they win? Those wins did nothing. You can't go back. That's where the truth is from. Where do you stand? I've cast my lot. I've told you, and I will continue to tell you all the way through the draft. I may be wrong, I may be right, but I know where I stand. You Jaguar fan, do not be both sides of the fence. And I know a lot of you will. You'll play both sides of the fence. You can't do that. I want you to be honest. If you're part of this show, give me a pinky swear right now. Be honest. We'll talk about that all off season going into the draft. I guarantee you that. Let's take a break here. One down, a long way to go. It's a fun Tuesday edition of the Young Norvelle Show. We hope to talk some Gator Bowl football. The great matchup is set. Duke versus Ole Miss. I love it. I'm really excited about the matchup that the Gator Bowl has put together. There could have been other matchups. I get that, but you got to go with somebody. And I like a lot of the aspects of this matchup. We'll talk with Katie Cox from the Gator Bowl Association on the other side. It's the Young and Norvelle Show coming to you live from the heart of Mandarin at Hurricane Julington Creek.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice 3-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device, you're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
All right, back we are on a Tuesday. You know where we're at. If it's Tuesday, we are deep in the heart of Mandarin at Wings-Julington Creek. Have a fun time every Tuesday. Terry Norvelle, Patric Young may join us a little bit later. I am set up, of course, inside Hurricanes and Julington Creek. If you're going home or coming out of Julington Creek, stop by, say hi. Trivia later tonight about 7 o'clock. With that, let's transition into some Gator Bowl talk as the two teams have been selected, and I do believe we've got Katie Cox from the Gator Bowl Association. There she is. Hello.
Hi. How are you? I'm great.
How the heck are you? Good. Looks like you're still working hard in the office right now.
A lot of hours from the stadium this time of the year, as you can imagine.
Yeah. The month of December is go time.
Yeah, that's right.
As if the other months are not go time, but go time now. The Gator Bowl game comes up. I want to talk all about it, Katie. I'm excited about it. I think it's a nice matchup. Duke is having a hell of a season. They're excited. I mean, 9-3. Duke going to a bowl game. I think they're going to bring a good 20,000. And I mean, Ole Miss has been one of the top echelon SEC programs the last 4 or 5 years. And frankly, you can't go wrong with Lane Kiffin will be here for about a month, and Lane Kiffin is going to bring publicity. I mean, he's a publicity hound. I can't wait for Kiffin to roll into Jacksonville.
It's funny you say that because we met with the two head coaches this morning on Zoom. Okay. Their sort of first touch base together in several hours. You know how those go. It's just sort of, pomp and circumstance, if you will, talking about each other. It's pretty early in the game for them to talk specifics, but maybe 3 or 4 hours after one of our other staff popped in and said, ESPN just did a push notification with something Coach Kiffin said. And I was like, here it goes, right? He's wonderful in that regard. And it will be a blast to have both teams here really, engaged in the game for the month, as you said, and then on site in Jacksonville for a week right after Christmas to bring in the new year. It's going to be electric.
It really is. And we just teased it a little bit, but there aren't many head coaches, I don't care what level, head coaches in college football right now that command the camera and the microphone more than Lane Kiffin. I mean, I don't want to we'll talk about Manny Diaz in a moment and what he's done with Duke, but I mean, Kiffin, he's a great coach. What he's done at Ole Miss, a lot of people say, well, what's he done? Well, nobody wins at Ole Miss at this level. Ole Miss hasn't won anything in 65 years. He's done great things, but man, the cameras and the microphones, they find Lane Kiffin. That's a bonus for the taxpayer Gator Bowl.
Yeah, it absolutely is. It's certainly something that doesn't hurt. And, I think you see how much he's respected too by the players and the administration and the fans. I think you guys probably all saw yesterday, Jackson Dart led an effort that he's going to play in the bowl. And with that came several other players committing to play too. And as we talked about that earlier today, I think it's in large part like the team dynamic of this team is really incredible. So it will be, honestly, I can't wait to get them here. And I think there's just a lot of energy. I mean, they had a really exceptional season. They won 9 games. And in that beat South Carolina and Georgia, right? So 2 really exceptional wins. And they've not been here. I mean, if we talk about them and their relationship with the Gator Bowl, they've not been here since 1991. So it's been a long time since they've been to Jacksonville. And of course, there was a previous game with Archie Manning in the early 70s that was probably one of the best games in Gator Bowl history, if you will. So it will be awesome to have them back. And there's a lot of Ole Miss fans in Northeast Florida. So I think they're excited to just get to be home for the holidays and see their team.
And then, you look at the opponent, Duke, and Katie, you've been doing this a long time. I know you've been associated with Gator Bowl a long time. Sometimes bowl games, unfortunately, will match up 2 programs that are not excited. Maybe they missed their season and 1 loss too many or 2 losses. Duke is just the opposite.
Absolutely.
I mean, here is Manny Diaz and the Duke Blue Devils. They went 9-3. They had upset wins. I think Duke is going to be just out of their mind bonkers. I think Duke is going to roll 20,000 tickets through you guys, if not more. And they're ecstatic about coming to Jacksonville and the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl.
Well, we sure hope so. Won't that be fun if it's blue? They bleed blue all over. They're a 9-win team that if you look back in their history, I think the last 3 years they've had winning seasons, but prior to that, I think they were 3-9, right? So it's been a tremendous turnaround for the team. And as you said, as far as a matchup goes, I learned yesterday, actually, in the middle of a press event that Ole Miss and Duke, respectively, are number 1 and number 2 in the country for tackles for loss, right? So it's going to be on the field is going to be an incredible game. Yeah. We expect there'll be a lot of points scored on January 2nd.
Yeah, and these are 2 teams. These aren't, and I'm not going to throw any names out, but these aren't 3 yards in a cloud of dust. I mean, Kiffin wants to throw it, and Duke is wide open. Manny Diaz, a relatively young coach that, he's not looking for, 2 fullbacks and a dive play every 3, every 4 plays. I think it's a great matchup. Katie, we're visiting with Katie Cox from the Gator Bowl Association. The big game comes up. I love the fact that the Gator Bowl, the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl, will be played on Thursday, January 2nd, and it's the only game in town.
It's the only game in town. You're right.
How great is that?
You better bet there was some cartwheels and cheers done the day we learned that. So we are Thursday, January 2nd. We are a primetime game, which is the absolute best time to play. So 7:30 p.m. kickoff, and we are the only game of the day. So we have a tremendous opportunity to showcase Northeast Florida and Jacksonville and the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl and all of the things, because all eyeballs should be pointed in our direction for that evening. Man. It's and it's the 80th anniversary of the Gator Bowl game this year, and so there's a lot to share about the game. What's the game this year, but also what brought us to this point. So I think it's a perfect time slot for that.
I don't think a lot of people realize the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl and the Gator Bowl has been around 80 years.
Yeah.
That has outlived a lot of bowl games, including, I mean, you know, the Fiesta Bowl just popped up in the early 70s.
Yep.
I mean, bowls like the Gator Bowl has heritage 80 years deep. And I want to throw this out. I'm slightly older than you. I'm going to use that word slightly. Did I read somewhere, I think I did, that Tax Slayer has now been the title sponsor of the Gator Bowl for 14 years. I remember, Katie, I don't know if it was year one. It was very early in the relationship between Tax Slayer and the Gator Bowl. Dale Earnhardt Jr. drove his NASCAR onto the field and did donuts. One of the first years to kick off the relationship between Tax Slayer and the Gator Bowl. Talk about that.
That is right. So you're correct. It's been 14 years. So that makes
was watching the game.
Yes, they are the longest title sponsor in Gator Bowl history. So I think a lot of people remember the Toyota years, and they have now officially surpassed them at Tax Slayer. It's a funny story. I mean, it was a caveat of that deal when they signed year one. They were in a NASCAR relationship with Dale Jr. And I think their CEO at the time had a vision of, cross promoting those two brands that they were partnering, and asked if Dale could flip the coin and drive the car out. Rick Catlett was our president and CEO at the time. And, he just says yes, like that's the way we rolled. And so he said yes, and we figured it out. I aged probably a decade in those moments because the car wouldn't start to come out of the tunnel. And because it's a not fully, it's a shell of a car. Right. And so, people on the radio are yelling at you to get the car on the field because we're in a time crunch. And meanwhile, we can't get the car to start, but it ultimately happened. And he drove out, and I'm not sure he did donuts. That might be a bit of a fabrication because we had to make some promises to the turf folks that they could still play football after we flipped the coin, right? But yes, we did that for a number of years. And honestly, it was one of the most incredible pieces of that activation of that sponsorship was Dale being involved in driving the car out each year. It was pretty awesome.
And I think way back then, Dale Jr. was ascending to become a great, but he was just starting.
Yeah, he was.
And now he's 1,500,000 under his belt and retired. Basically, I think he drives ceremoniously. But yes, what a relationship, Tax Slayer and the Gator Bowl. It's
been wonderful.
It's been a lot of fun. If you can, obviously, we're talking about the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. Duke taking on Ole Miss. Let's stop right here and tell people, how do you get tickets? What's the easiest way to go online? What's the easiest website to get involved?
Sure. So as we mentioned, the game will be played it's Thursday night, January 2nd. It's a 7:30 p.m. kickoff, and you can get tickets at taxslayergatorbowl.com. And I think if you just watch and market for people, we want to take care of Jacksonville. Like, that's the most important thing as we navigate the future, right? To showcase that Jacksonville supports college athletics in our town. That helps the growth of the game and the future growth and whatever that CFP expansion may look like as we navigate those waters in the future. So we're going to do some local offers in the coming days. And so I would just continue to watch our site to make sure that we take care of locals. But tickets, taxslayergatorbowl.com is the place to go. And if you can't come to the game, I should say this as well. If you can't personally come to the game, we have some programs that you can purchase a ticket and donate them to youth that we do a lot in the community with youth. And so there's plenty of ways to get involved, whether or not you want to attend or would like to donate for local kids and their families to join on January 2nd.
Nice. Very nice. Katie,
sure.
Let's talk. Minutes. I'd like to, if I can, I would like to kind of look ahead in the future, and I don't want to catch you in an area that you may not be able to speak, but I'm gonna throw some things out. I'm a native. I'm born and raised in Jacksonville. I graduated from JU, played college baseball there. I'm a Duval guy. I know the history. I've been to 1 million Gator Bowl games. I've seen the game. I've seen it go through multiple title sponsors, as you said. Tax Slayer is the long-standing one now. It's been a great relationship. I've seen the Gator Bowl game hold tight through renovations of that stadium down there, and it was the old Gator Bowl.
Yeah.
And then the Jaguars came. And a few years in, there was a a refurbishing of the stadium. There's been a lot of machinations of the stadium. The Gator Bowl has stayed true and stayed hard and battled through that. It looks like there is, and I think it's been signed off, right? I mean, the stadium of the future should be breaking ground very soon. Now, it's going to take a couple of years, and I understand the Jaguars and but isn't that justice that the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl is within eyesight of being played in a massively state-of-the-art.
We're so very excited for that. That's a tremendous win, not only for our community, but for our game specifically. It will be, I mean, as you said, like it's going to take some time. So we, are planning through that process, just like, Georgia, Florida, and the Jaguars and everyone are. But as you mentioned, we did this before, right? Like we were playing in the old Gator Bowl Stadium prior to the franchise coming. And ironically, this will just kind of trip you out a little bit. It's like one of my favorite stories to tell right now. As we started looking at the process of where we would play in the year we need to be out, Greg asked us like what happened before. I was not here at that time. Robert Lebrock on our staff was, and as it went, he said, "Do you think there's any files in this office from 1994?" And we found them because in offices like this, you have archives back dating till the dawn of time. And coincidentally, in that time frame, Greg was at the University of Florida in his career. Yeah, and so he was involved
down there.
The Florida side when we did this before. So it just was kind of one of those full circle moments. But for us, I think you probably have seen we had that tremendous game 2 years ago between South Carolina and Notre Dame, in which the entire game was sold out. Last year, Clemson and Kentucky, we sold the lower bowl only. From a budgetary standpoint each year, we're okay if we sell the lower bowl. And so for us, we'll play at full capacity this year and next. You'll play a reduced capacity year, which we're okay with. And then of course we'll be out. So we're planning for that. In that time frame, your conference relationships and contracts flip over. And so the conferences are aware that that's happening. And they're excited about it, right? They understand as they return in agreements to come back to Jacksonville, they're going to be playing in the best building in the nation. And so that's not a bad place to be. And so I think there's a lot of unknowns, right? As we look at the future, we're in year one of the expanded playoff. It will be the same way next year. They've agreed to a 2-year term to still play with 12 teams, but then who knows what that will look like in that plan. So I think what we've learned in this process that is the things that we need to do to position ourselves to grow and advance in that process, whatever that may look like, is we need to do what we do best, which is and the community does this for us, right? Like we're hospitable. We are well spoken of in the athletic directors' rooms when teams are talking about coming here, which is so very important in bowl selection. And we need to have easy in and out from an airport destination standpoint. For anyone who's traveled recently, the airport is growing so very fast. We have lots of things going on. You can see the construction there. And then of course the new stadium and what's happening downtown is sort of the final piece of the puzzle. So I think we're tremendously positioned. We're all very, very excited about the future. And of course there's going to be growing pains, right? It's part of the process of, you're going to play in a different building for a year. There's going to be some challenges in that, but all in all, I think when we return to this building, it's going to be incredible to be able to showcase to fans in the SEC and ACC this building and our community and how it's grown in the coming 5 years.
And Katie, I may be speaking out of turn here, but I would imagine that you folks from the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl side are in communication with the Jaguars. They've got to go find a place to play, and maybe you piggyback with them where they go. But I'm assuming that's probably going on, right?
Oh, for sure. And they've been so gracious in the entire process, right, to make sure that we were always in conversations alongside Georgia, Florida, that other college football game that's played here earlier in the year, to make sure that we were all, spoken of and cared for and thought of in the process. And so it's been a really incredible working relationship. We'll see where, I think we know that the model before for us was to go to Gainesville, and that allows us to keep most of the events in Jacksonville, right? Because that is the goal of the bowl year in and year out, is to make sure that we drive tourism to the community. And so we'll keep teams here. You would bus over for the day and then return. But if there's an opportunity to move together, I think we've been open to that. And, we'll see what that looks like when those final plans come out. But I think, our strong plan B, if you will, is to be in Gainesville for I guess that would be regular season 2027.
And the Jaguars, the Tech Slayer Gator Bowl, and Florida Georgia, they all have to be displaced.
Yes.
So
yes.
why not kind of work in conjunction with each other, at least be in communication, because they're all going to be relocated in the stadium of the future.
Right.
And man,
so good.
The potential of Tech Slayer Gator Bowl in the stadium of the future, throwing their name and their bid into the college football playoff.
Yeah.
And
isn't it exciting?
It's ungodly. We just saw the reveal, and we see this. The Peach Bowl gets a game, and the Fiesta Bowl, and when you get the stadium of the future, that should command games. I want to back up a little bit, and Katie, I promise,
Sure.
I know you're probably ready to go.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
And getting back, I think I remember this right though. In one of the renovations of our stadium here in Jacksonville with the Jaguars, obviously the Gator Bowl had to be relocated and went in Gainesville. I want to say, because Gator Nation loves to bring this up, I want to say that was Tennessee versus Virginia Tech.
That's right.
And Peyton Manning got to quarterback Tennessee. I think Manning was still at Tennessee, and Tennessee beat Virginia Tech.
That's
so
right.
Peyton Manning actually somehow got a win
at Florida
Field. And Gator Nation loves to say he never beat the Gators in 4 years in Knoxville or Gainesville, but he did. And Katie, do we count that for Peyton as a win at Florida Field?
I don't know. I don't think it's safe for me to weigh in on that. That's not where I thought you were going though, because
ahead.
The fun fact we tell about this game, Florida granted the right for Tennessee to paint the checkerboard for the bowl game, and so they painted the checkerboard end zone in Florida Field.
Shut
and then
your
of course
filthy mouth, Katie.
I know,
Super
super taboo, right? And then Peyton won, so it was a double whammy. But it will only just be completely ironic, right, if in that given year Tennessee comes back in 2027. But yes, you're right. They beat Virginia Tech pretty handily.
How about that? Yes.
Yeah, and I think they may not be the only. I can't quote that, but certainly one, if not the only father-son duos who have played historically in the game, because he played in 94 and Archie played in 71.
Archie. Yes. I'll let you go. This doesn't matter, but it does matter to me. Do we know which school Duke, Ole Miss is practicing at? I don't know if it's JU, UNF. Do we know who's going where yet?
We do. So they don't flip. The SEC team always practices at UNF, and the ACC team always practices in Fernandina Beach at Fernandina Beach High School.
Okay.
So they're here. Actually, both are here coincidentally today and tomorrow. That's where Greg is today, doing their site visits and visiting the city. And we were joking, like, it's going to be cold, I think, Thursday, right? Like wintry cold here.
Thursday gets cold again,
Good they're coming today and tomorrow because they'll go back home and report how wonderful the weather is in Florida.
Hey, Katie, let's promise to do it again at least once, maybe twice before January 2nd. And you know how the holidays work. It's going to be Christmas before we know it, and it'll be January 2nd before you know it. Get your butt to purchase your tickets. You've got family in. It's the only game in town, a night game on a Thursday night. Oh my God.
You beat it. It's a great Christmas present, right?
It really is. Katie, let's do it again. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, we will. Thank you. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you so much. That's Katie Cox. I've known her a couple of years now. She does a great job with the entire organization down with the Tech Slayer Gator Bowl, and I'm looking forward to the game. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to Lane Kiffin getting in, and Duke rolls in, and Duke football, not Duke basketball, Duke football rolling in. I think the Blue Devils are going to bring a lot of fans. They're excited as can be. Duke doesn't go to a lot of bowl games historically. This is a big year, 9-3 for God's sakes for the Blue Devils. Tech Slayer Gator Bowl, January 2nd. Go to TechSlayerGatorBowl.com. Buy your tickets right now. I'm going to try and do my best. Hopefully we can do our show down there in the area and then just go to the game on a Thursday. All right, let's take a break. Come back. We'll get into the second hour a little bit later in hour number 2. We'll play some trivia, but we've got some other stuff. I want to talk about a potential, and I know this is a the odds aren't great, but do you realize there is a potential for a Tennessee? We just talked about the Volunteers. A Tennessee Volunteers trifecta could be one of the great sports moments in college sports. So we'll talk about that. The Heisman Trophy finalists are set. And I want to go in the second hour, the NFL playoff tracker, week 15. Things are starting to come into play. We'll go over that as we kick off hour number 2 in a moment. Wrapping up hour number 1 on a Tuesday, live from Hurricane Julington Creek.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
All right, back we are. Whoa, we go to Tallahassee as we bump back in. Right. That's Osceola and Renegade there. Whoa, they look imposing. Not so much on the field this year, but I didn't say that. Welcome back. It's a Tuesday edition, the Young and Norvelle Show. set up here. You know our Tuesday home. We're the heart of Mandarin, Julington Creek Hurricane location. Terry Norvelle, Trent Torsey. You know Trent. He's with us a lot during the year. Talks a lot of college baseball, a lot of baseball with us. Trent, I grabbed you and threw you down. You ready? I know you worked all day, but
no, I love it.
You want to work some more?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, we had Katie Cox on earlier from the Texas Gator Bowl. They're excited. They've got Duke 9-3, and Duke never goes 9-3. They're excited. Part of putting a bowl game together is you hope to get programs, college football programs, that are excited, not depressed for your bowl game. Duke is jacked. They're 9-3.
Yeah.
They're going to bring fans. And then Mississippi State, certainly, Ole Miss, certainly they wanted college football playoff. But Jacksonville gets to bring an excited Duke team. And Lane Kiffin is a story all to himself. Lane Kiffin brings publicity. And we talked to Katie about that. It's going to be fun having Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin here for a week.
Yeah, so Lane Kiffin is just a soundbite machine.
Oh, he's unbelievable.
Yeah, so he's gonna throw it out there. The fact that, listen, when you start talking about bowl games, anybody has a chance to come to Florida this time of year,
You think?
You're coming down, man.
You think?
And and I remember Lane talking about, well, we should be in the mix in South Carolina and Alabama and all
fighting
that.
for his team. Yeah, I get it.
Of course. That's what you have to do.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think they got it right with SMU.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I went SMU, and we can get that in a quick second. But I want to get back to Lane Kiffin, and I didn't have a chance to throw these numbers at Katie Cox from the Texas Gator Bowl. I think there are only a couple of football coaches in America, head football coaches, where the coach is a big story. Lane Kiffin is a big – I don't know how we could measure this, but I would bet you, and I think I would win this bet, that the Texas Gator Bowl, Jacksonville, Florida, having Ole Miss in / Lane Kiffin, because he's Lane Kiffin, over the next 3 or 4 weeks, the Texas Gator Bowl will get 15, 20% more coverage just because he's Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
Microphones find him. Cameras find him. He's one of the few coaches that is a little bit bigger than his program.
Yeah.
Would you say that?
Well, 100% agree with that. And he'll know the right things to say.
Yeah.
So he
is a good PR guy.
He's going to tease it up. And the funny thing about Lane is he going to stay at Ole Miss?
I know.
I mean, that's the thing where you look at it and you go, all right, well, let's enjoy the moment now. You're kind of upset that you were left out of the playoff.
Yeah.
But now, having said that, if SMU wasn't chosen and Alabama or South Carolina was, there would have been a bigger beat.
That would have been
really,
but you really wonder about Lane, and Lane, he's polarized. He's a polarizing guy.
Yeah.
You're a Mississippi State guy. You graduated, played ball, and went to Mississippi State. You know the state of Mississippi. He's polarizing, and I think polarizing can be good, by the way, sometimes. But the anti-Lane Kiffin guys, well, he's never won an SEC. He's never won of this. Well, now that's the anti. I'm on the other side. Nobody wins at Ole Miss. What he's done at Ole Miss, I think, is phenomenal. Ole Miss hasn't won diddly poo in football in 65 years.
Yeah.
With that all said, you have to wonder, Lane is still like 49 years old. Does he say, okay, I have ceilinged out? Ole Miss is never, by the way, if SMU was not in the picture and that 12th spot came down to you can only put 2 in and you got to do the tail of the tape. Alabama, Ole Miss, Alabama's always going to win that battle. Ole Miss is never.
Yeah.
When will Lane Kiffin finally go, I've maximized it at Ole Miss? Because these certain universities, Alabama gets the nod. Florida gets the nod. Ohio State gets the Ole Miss doesn't get the nod. At some point, he's got to say, I need to go somewhere where the ceiling is not here. It's here.
Yeah, so it's a very interesting question or
Statement,
scenario
sure.
because he was very young with the USC, the Raiders.
Very young, too young.
Tennessee, who knows what happened there.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
He's established himself. He's kind of mellowed out, if you will, as a person, and has stabilized Ole Miss.
Oh, if he,
I'm going to say this right now. This isn't even as a Mississippi State guy. I think he takes the next best job.
The next best job. Yeah.
I mean,
I
don't know what that is.
And if he leaves Ole Miss soon, I don't mean this year, but you know what I mean by soon. My goodness, the guy he's handing it off to couldn't ask for better. I mean, Ole Miss was handing it off from Billy Brewer to Houston, right? I mean, Lane Kiffin will be handing it off great. All right, let's bounce around. Trenton Torsia, our baseball guy. Trent comes on with us a lot during the year, bouncing around. This hit me this morning, and I've got a really good friend of mine, Jeff Kendall, who's a massive Tennessee Vol fan. And I haven't talked to him about this yet, but it hit me this morning. The odds of this are tiny, but do you realize the Tennessee Vols right now have a chance at a Tennessee trifecta? Let me explain it. Tennessee is the reigning college baseball national champions.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
The Vols have the college baseball national title trophy. Tennessee is in the 12-team college football playoff. You got to be in it to win it.
You got to be in it to win it.
Tennessee winning the football championship wouldn't be crazy. They're pretty good, right? They got hot.
They actually are pretty good.
Do you realize yesterday's AP college basketball poll came out?
Saw it.
Tennessee's ranked number 1 in the nation in basketball. I know the odds of going baseball concurrently, baseball, football, basketball are about 1%. They're the only one. They got a chance.
I know.
Wouldn't that be miserable if you know any Tennessee fans?
No, I know, right.
God.
Certainly as the
Tennessee trifecta would be.
Fan you are non-Tennessee.
Absolutely.
Because you remember when
Florida
won the football national
Florida
championship.
had Florida.
Oops.
Yep.
They won the national championship. And then
they won it again.
They were number 2.
Yes. But Florida is the only program in the history of college football right now, and it's kind of why I brought up this potential Tennessee trifecta. Florida is the only athletic program, Trent, in the history of college athletics to concurrently, and that means at the same, concurrently at the same time, Florida is the only to concurrently hold the basketball national championship and football at the same time. Yeah. Florida won it in basketball, Noah and Horford and all those guys. They came around and won it in football while they still had it. Then they won it in basketball again, so they didn't lose it. They held it for 18 months. Tennessee has a wild chance at baseball, football. They're one of 12 standing, and they're number 1 in the nation in basketball, for God's sakes. That would be miserable, wouldn't it?
No, it would be miserable.
It would be miserable.
I think they have a better shot in hoops than they do in football.
Probably. They've got, but they're in it, and you got to be in it to win it. Obviously, their first game is at Columbus against Ohio State. Yeah. What are your thoughts on the Big 12, the Final 12? You agree with me, SMU? I'm an SEC guy. You played ball in the SEC. I love the SEC. If my choices were SMU and Bama, I would have gone SMU.
Yeah,
I would have gone SMU.
I think you have to. But the first half of the game, if you looked at the score, you're like, you know what?
I know.
Okay.
They made a comeback.
This is going to make it easy.
Yes, it was.
And then it wasn't. SMU, they go, well, look at their record.
Yeah.
They're 0-2 versus top 25 teams, and Bama's
they hadn't knocked off anybody.
And this and that, and they're a good team, especially with after the game, Dabo endorsed them.
Yes,
and that probably means
how ironic
bit, right?
is it? How ironic is it that? Remember and we'll take a break here. We'll kick off hour number 2 in a little bit. Trent, if you can stay around one more segment. How ironic was it, though, that what did we have? We had that 5 or 6 year period where Alabama and Clemson were knocking heads. They were the big boys. Alabama won 1 or 2. Clemson won 1 or 2. They were knocking heads. How ironic is that a Clemson win knocked Alabama out? My stance, and we'll go to break. We can keep this coming over the top. My stance with Alabama and SMU, if they were truly the final spot, and that was the argument, Alabama had 2 really nice wins. They beat Georgia and they beat South Carolina. Those are nice wins. Mm-hmm. Alabama also had 2 incredibly ugly losses.
Not good losses.
They lost 3 total games. 2 of them were to 6-6 teams. Yeah. I think SMU did not have a marquee win, but SMU had several chances all year to have ugly losses, and they didn't. Yeah. They didn't lose to 7-5 Pittsburgh. I'm picking out some teams that are equivalent to Vanderbilt, Oklahoma, who beat Alabama at 6-6. Pittsburgh was 7-5. And California was 6-6, and Boston College was 7. SMU didn't lose to those guys. They lost to highly ranked Clemson and highly ranked BYU. Beat them. They're 10-2. BYU is far away.
They're solid.
Yeah, interesting. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. The Heisman Trophy candidates are named. We'll keep Trenton Torsi around talking some ball in hour number 2, flying by as they all do on a Tuesday, live from Hurricane-Julington Creek.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com, and while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
Oh, good look at the wall in the College Football Hall of Fame, and good-looking helmets. A lot of those programs are in some bowl games, some are not. There's the Gators right in the middle. Trent Torsia, our baseball guy, joining us. He's kind enough to sit with us here today from Hurricane in Julington Creek. Trent, got a lot of topics here. We're going to keep you on another segment, and then we'll have some trivia a little bit later. Not the sexiest bowl game for Florida from Florida's perspective, Tulane. Tulane loves playing a big brand in Florida. Not the sexiest pick, but I'm not sure we even thought bowl game for the Gators 2 months ago sitting right here. We didn't think bowl game.
Well, that's the whole key right there is you almost want to say you're lucky to be in a bowl game because they were talking about who's on the hot seat.
Whacking the coach in midseason. And I was saying he's got to go.
Yeah. And you rally, toward the end of the year. I think so. When you look at teams, you're like, doesn't matter if it's college or professional, you go, that team quit.
Yeah.
And they never quit.
They never did. They never did, which tells you about Napier, right?
Yeah. And they all endorsed the coach.
They never did.
That's the other thing too, where it's like, if you don't endorse the coach and you stay neutral, that means I don't endorse the coach.
I don't endorse it.
Yeah.
Well said. Spinning off to Heisman Trophy. I don't know if you heard the finalists were announced late last night. Hunter from Colorado, Genty, the running back, from Miami, quarterback from Miami, and Dylan Gabriel, the quarterback of the #1 team in the nation. I want to stay on Gabriel for a quick second. I think Hunter is going to win it. I probably would vote for Hunter myself. Genty, I'm impressed with, but I do look at the level of competition, and that holds me back a little bit. They play a Mountain West conference schedule. Cam Ward, I think, got punished by a couple of Miami defensive lapses. I don't think he played bad in their losses.
No.
But you're looking for a wart. I want to go to Doug Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel, the quarterback for Oregon's been everywhere. Put up great numbers. They're the only undefeated team, #1 in the nation. Generally, that might help you get over the edge and win the Heisman. But I do think there's a little bit of that West Coast. We don't see them as much. Mm-hmm. You've got to really stick around to watch. And guys like Reggie Bush overcame it and stuff. But I think there's some truth to that. Dylan Gabriel, if he was with the #1 team in the nation and they were playing in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and he had the same numbers, I think he might be running away with the Heisman Trophy. I think there is some West Coast. Is it negative bias? You just don't see them a lot. you've got to really work hard to see more than just their name on the ranking on Tuesday.
Yeah, and that's been going on for years.
It has been going
it's
on
like,
for years.
Because
Well
these
said.
games come on at 10:30 at night.
Well said.
And who watches them on the East Coast, which if you look at the majority of the voters, they are, central to Eastern time zone.
Absolutely.
So it's like, well, everybody says you need to see this guy play or whatever. But I will say this for Colorado, you're a two-way guy. It's the best player
I know
in the country at probably both positions. Yeah. Very hard to not say, go, well,
and that's what I think is going to win it for him.
What did he do? They're not going to win a natty.
No. I think that's what's going to win it for him. That's what won it for Charles Woodson.
He's phenomenal.
Charles Woodson did something you just don't see very often. Now, I don't know this. Somebody can help me right now. Somebody may be out there saying, well, Terry, wait a minute. Ashton Genty, he played in Boise. I don't know if Boise is mountain or I'm not sure if Idaho is Pacific, right? But Genty going into the year had a lot more publicity, and people sought him out more than Dylan Gabriel, who's at his third he went UCF, Oklahoma, and now he's at Oregon. I think he had a lot of ground to make up. I don't know. I should look it up. Boise may be time zoned out as well, but Genty got a lot of coverage. I don't think Gabriel did. Do you agree though? I think Hunter wins it though.
I do agree with that, and I think Gentry, like he got if you watch Sports Center or whatever,
yes,
he got sort of secondary coverage.
Yes,
with it. You go, oh, by the way, he gained 165 yards today or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's Hunter. I think it's Hunter, and I think it's a runaway.
Yeah, I'm with you. And you know what? I think also Deion year 2 at Colorado was nowhere near as bombastic. He had his moments, but he wasn't as year 1 at Colorado. He rubbed people wrong, a chunk of people wrong. And once they started losing, people jumped on him and goes, good, lose.
Yeah.
This year, remember, they lost a couple games early. And they rallied the troops. Deion wasn't as irritating, if that's fair, as bombastic. And I think some people came around and said, you know what? I might not have said this last year, but Deion's done a pretty good job this year in Colorado. And I think that's going to get Hunter some votes as well. You know what? Deion's maybe not so bad after all.
No, and I agree with that. And it's interesting you bring it up because you and I have texted about this. It's like, so where does Deion go from here?
Yeah.
He's going to be as hot as he's ever going to be.
He's red hot right now.
Right now. So does he make the leap?
Yep.
Or does he hang out? And your point to me was if he hangs out, the next 2 years are going to be very, very interesting based on how they do.
Yeah. And boy, I tell you though, obviously I don't know this, but I think I do know this. The Heisman is this Saturday, the presentation, and it's a big show now. It's a 2-hour monstrosity, and those are the guys going 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the 4 going. You know their coaches follow them. Deion will be on camera as much as anybody. Deion Sanders is going to be so red. If Hunter wins the Heisman, Deion is right there. He will never be hotter, will he? Because his son and Hunter are leaving. And I know they've got a 5-star kid coming in, but Shador came in. He already had his 2 years at Jackson State. He was a polished product. Does Deion want to stick around Colorado with none of his kinfolk, with none of his superstars? This young 5-star they signed or about to sign, he may be great. I don't think he's going to be great day 1, game 1 next year. Does Deion want to be a reclamation and hope he finds the next Shador and hope he finds. I don't see him staying in Colorado very long. I just don't.
I don't either. So, having said that, now's the exit time.
Yes,
because you can't. You're probably not going to be more marketable than you are right now.
I would agree.
So it's like, you know what?
And the marketability includes his son. It includes his son on his right arm.
Yeah.
And people have manipulated drafts before. See Eli Manning. See John Elway. Peyton Manning. John Elway.
And Eli.
Eli certainly manipulated it with his family. He said, we are not going to sign with San Diego. If you want to screw around and waste a pick, do it. They manipulated the draft. It can be done. John Elway played some minor league baseball and threatened to never. He said, if I don't go where I want to go, I'll go play. He played minor league baseball. Yes, you can manipulate the draft. With that said, last week, now it's changed, but last week, and we can, if we got time, we can get into the Jaguars winning. Was that a win or a loss for their franchise? But last week, before the Jaguars won this game this past Sunday, if the draft was held last week, Jacksonville had the first pick.
Yep.
I think it was either the Raiders or Giants in one order. Raiders, Giants. Okay, so Jacksonville, Raiders, Giants. Okay, Raiders, Giants, both are dying for a quarterback. Okay, if Jacksonville was one, they get on the phone. They may even do a speakerphone. I'm being silly here. A conference call and say, "Hey guys, we are the Jacksonville Jaguars. We have number one.
Yeah.
Raiders, you're dying for a quarterback. Giants, you're dying. We're not drafting a quarterback. We know both of y'all want a quarterback. One of y'all wants Shador and or Cam Ward.
Yeah.
If you're the Jaguars, one of those two teams could certainly, Deion Sanders and Shador, they could manipulate the draft, right?
Yeah.
I could see. How about the Big Apple or Vegas? Deion Sanders, prime time in the Big Apple with his son as the head coach. Deion Sanders with his son, Mr. Primetime, in Las freaking Vegas with his son. Couldn't you see that?
No,
strong arm happening
a month ago. I think it was about a month ago. Deion's on stage with Antonio Pierce, who's the Raiders coach, and he goes, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit. He said,
"My man,
get the Sanders boys."
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean,
and was he talking about Shador and Shiloh or Shador and Deion?
Well, that's a great question.
Hey,
or all three.
And yes, and if you're Antonio Pierce, are you thinking about that story about Julius Caesar and Brutus stabbing you right in the back?
Oh,
Deion, are you stabbing me right in the back, my man?
You support me, but you don't.
Yes, but I'm telling you that Deion Sanders strong arming the NFL draft, and it's been done before. It's been done before, and by the way,
numerous times.
And by the way, yes, Deion has come out multiple times and told the world of Colorado, Buffalo Nation that I'm staying and we're staying. We got this quarter, and Deion signed guys. I get it, but what about if you need an out? If you're Deion Sanders and you don't want to be looking like ogre guy, you ran out on Colorado when you said you were going to stay. You ran out on these kids you just signed, this 5-star. The perfect out is for Deion Sanders to get behind the press conference microphone and say, guys, yeah, absolutely. At the time, I meant everything I said. Joe Hotshot 5-star, I was excited to coach you, and you came here, and I appreciate that. The rest of our players that maybe didn't transfer out, you thought I was coming back. I told you I was coming back. I wanted to address you as well. But listen, there's one thing that changes everything. The National Football League came calling me.
Yeah.
And that's his out. And I may never have this chance again. And this is a life lesson for you and everybody. But I meant everything I said. This is Deion talking still.
Yeah.
I meant everything I said. But when I said all that, the National Football League wasn't offering me a 2-for-1 with me and my son. I'm the head coach at Dallas, the Giants. That's his out, and people would accept that. People would say the NFL is the creme de la creme. I didn't know I had this when I promised you that. Things change in life.
Yeah, and that's fair. But the other thing is, the way the rules are right now, you transfer immediately. So you don't, it doesn't matter.
Good point. Like, You're not killing a guy for 4 years.
Yeah, so
right?
My head coach just left.
That sucked. But if you were a 5-star, if I was a 5-star and you recruited me, other people still want me.
Yeah. So
is that what you're saying?
Yes. So okay, now I'm going to go to school 2 or whatever, and if they go, well, you know what, we kind of filled your position, so we're moving on. All right. If you're that good,
there's a place for you.
There's a place for you.
There's a place for you.
And
there's your place for you. And I'll tell you one thing, not to cut you off, I'm sorry. If you're Colorado, the university, the AD that hired Dion, the president that hired, I'm assuming they're all the same guys still. If you're Buffalo Nation, if you're the fans, it would be hard for me to really be pissed off at Deion Sanders if he left after his second year, considering where Colorado Buffalo football was at when he took it. They were here, buddy. They were below sea level, right?
No, you remember you and I were
below
texting about what he's done for that community?
Yep.
In terms of revenue and viewership and all that stuff. It's crazy.
It would be hard for you to be the biggest Colorado Buffalo fan in the world. It would be hard for me to take that person serious if they were lambasting Dion if he left at the end of this year at some point, because I would go, let me tell you something. Colorado Buffalo football was below sea level. You should be lucky. Go hire somebody.
Since the 90s.
Oh, Bill McCartney and those guys when they won a title.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, Trent, let's get out of here. I think you've got some friends over there. I appreciate you sitting in with us, and I appreciate all you do. By the way, it'll be college baseball time, which is your wheelhouse before we know it.
Yeah.
Before we know it. And we didn't get a lot to visit on college basketball, SEC style. What about, you and I think SEC baseball is probably the best sport in the conference. A lot of people love SEC football. What about SEC basketball? Did you see the rankings yesterday?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Including both Mississippi schools are in the top 25.
I know.
Woo.
And it's funny because you watch Mississippi State, the ebb and flow of that is just not healthy, right? They lose. I forget they lost and then they win. It's a top. So they're in the top 25. They lose.
Yeah.
They fall out, and then they win, and they come back in, and it's like, what? And I met Jans, by the way, this fall.
The coach.
The head Mississippi State basketball coach, and he's as fire as you and I are.
It's tough.
He's a pistol.
And yesterday we talked about this. And we'll go to break and let you get back to your party over there. 5 of the top 10 yesterday of the college basketball poll were SEC, including Tennessee, 1 in the nation, Auburn 2. A&M was in the back half. Oklahoma was in the back half. Mississippi State was in the back half. Ole Miss was in the back half. Okay, so there were like 9 ranked teams in the SEC in the college top 25, unheard of. 5 in the top 10, and I didn't even mention Missouri just knocked off number 1 Kansas a few days ago, and they're not one of the ranked teams. And they knocked them off.
Yep.
All right, Trent, get out of here. Thanks for your time, my friend. I appreciate everything you do for our show, and we'll get back with Trent and certainly some college baseball coming up around the corner. We'll take a break. There's a good look in Gainesville. Beautiful skies in Gainesville. Gators heading to a bowl game first time in a couple of years. We'll come back and we will talk some NFL tracker who is really closing in on the NFL playoffs. And then we have trivia coming up before we get out of here, as we do every Tuesday. Stay with us. It is the Young and Norvelle Show live from Mandarin at Hurricane, Julington Creek.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice three-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jacks app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jacks Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
All right, let's get right back into it here. We are cruising to the finish line on a Tuesday. Flying by is this show. We are at our Tuesday home. You know it by now. The best place, if you're looking for wings and different flavors, they've got about 32 flavors of wings here at Hurricane Julington Creek Grill and Wings. If they've got the name Wings in the title, you know it's pretty good. They can give you as mild and naked as you want the wings all the way through. I think it's nuclear. People that love it that hot. Of course, burgers, salads if somebody's kind of on the diet train, and all the cold beer, full-service bars inside and outside here at Hurricanes Julington Creek. Not sure. I think, do we have Patric Young stirring around, it sounds like a little bit. Is that you, Patric, or no? Oh, Patric Young. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing, Patric? What are
you doing?
Well, I'm sitting here thinking, did you see the Tennessee Vols are ranked number 1 in the basketball poll right now? Tennessee won.
You surprised? They're great, man.
Not really. They're good. And we talked a little bit today, Patrick. This is not going to happen. The odds are very, very minute. But do you realize Tennessee won the college baseball title? They have the trophy in college baseball. Okay, you with me? They're holding the trophy. They won it in Omaha back in June. Tennessee is one of 12 teams still playing for the college football championship. And Tennessee is number one in the nation in basketball. Patrick, they can't win all three, can they? That would be unheard of.
Oh, shoot, man. I mean, they're hot right now. They're hot. They won basketball, baseball, baseball and softball. SEC
Unbelievable
for the first time
man.
in school history, and I mean, that's why they were able to be the first ones to give us that 10% tax, that talent fee, because they got the talent. And I really didn't know that Chaz Lanier with the basketball. I didn't know he was going to be, and he's the UNF transfer. I didn't think he was going to be this good. But he's their best. He's not Dalton Connect.
But he can shoot.
He shoots the heck out of the ball. Yeah, absolutely.
He can. I like the shirt you got on there. Was that Florida softball?
Softball, man.
Fun sport.
Absolutely, love softball.
Real fun sport. Did you see?
Well, Tennessee, they got that freshman, or she's a sophomore now.
Yeah.
She was throwing it like 72, 73, 74 last year. So keep an eye out for them this year.
Pat, did you see the Heisman Trophy finalists? We know who's going to be in New York this Saturday. Hunter from Colorado, Genty from Boise State, Ward from Miami, and Gabriel from Oregon. I think Hunter wins it. What's your gut right now?
Man, the reason Hunter's going to win it.
It's obviously between Hunter and Genty.
Yeah, and this goes back to one of those, the record. So Colorado's not in. Some of the games that they lost this year, Travis Hunter was not able to play due to injury. I think it would have impacted that. So just think of the stats there. Travis Hunter apparently isn't considered by a lot of people a top defensive back, which is something that's ironic in that people don't want to throw the ball to his side, and he has a good amount of interceptions. But then you can look at the other side. Ashton Genty, a lot of those games early on when they're blowing people out, he only played the first half.
Agreed.
I almost wish he would have, for the sake of Boise having their first ever Heisman winner, that they would have just let him stack the numbers.
Yeah.
I think you look at, Boise State's not in the conversation at all without Ashton Genty. I think Colorado can still win some games without Travis Hunter. So I mean, I would like to see Ashton Genty win it, but for an athlete as the great athlete as Travis Hunter is, I think he's coming away with it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Hunter's going to win it. I think he's going to win it a little bit like it's kind of neat the way you play both sides of the ball. People just don't do that very often. Charles Woodson beat out Peyton Manning years ago because he played defense, offense, returned kicks. It's just neat to do that. I think if I voted, I would vote for Hunter. I think he would get my vote. Pat, I don't know if you and I have had a chance to visit. What are your thoughts on? And I'm throwing you a Jaguar curveball, so I hope I don't catch you. With your thoughts down. What are your thoughts? The big talk now is if the Jaguars don't mess around, they're going to win too many games and they're going to pick too low. They had the number one pick if they lose out. And I know it's hard to lose games on purpose, and you can't really do that. What are your thoughts on the Jaguars? Every time they win a game, did they win a game Sunday that was really a loss for the franchise, in your opinion?
Well, I guess the question is, because it's not just a straightforward, you have to be able to look at what are the needs, what's available. Are they? Because I think it's a waste. I don't know if they really need a first round draft pick. I think if they do, they need to trade it away and get multiple. I think the whole offensive line outside of Anton Harrison needs to be replaced, in my opinion.
I'm with you. I'm totally with you.
Anton Harrison's the only guy I give
totally
just because he's going into his third year. He's still got young legs. He's been in the system. But everybody else has got to go, man. They got to go, Terry.
They did just sign. They signed Walker.
We need some more old legs. We need some young legs in there.
Yeah.
Make us the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers, Josh Jacobs at 26 or 20. He's like the oldest guy on the team. Something ridiculous like that. 26 or 27. He's the oldest guy.
I think the Jaguars did sign Walker Little, so they must think he's got something. But I'll tell you, the other thing, Patrick, I led the show off today with a little fun dissertation about Doug Peterson and Trent Baalke. And you wonder, obviously, Patrick, you and we're not down in the bowels of the stadium, but it's pretty obvious that Trent Baalke and Doug Peterson don't get along. They don't necessarily like each other, and they don't have the same philosophy. But I led the show. I led the show off today saying you wonder at what point does common sense prevail with those two? Because if you're Doug Peterson, you have to know this is the last head coaching job you're ever going to get in the NFL. And if you're Trent Baalke, you have to know, if you dig down deep, that this is the last time you will ever be hired to be a general manager, make the decision, NFL guy. With that being said, wouldn't you think they would? Right now, they look like two school kids on the schoolyard fighting with each other. Wouldn't you think they would have come together and said, hey, man, this is your last go-around and my last go-around. Let's don't cannibalize each other. Let's try and ride this bad boy out. But they didn't do that, Patrick.
I know, man. I don't and I know someone where was I just at? They're real close to Doug. And his Doug is just Doug, man. Like how you see him at the games, he is just not a very emotional guy. Yeah. And I think Baalke isn't either. So I don't know if the guys, they're just, if it's pride, if it's misunderstanding, if it's someone not being, maybe Doug Peterson wasn't strong enough in his appeals for what they needed. Because he's not an emotional, fiery guy. He just is not. And then maybe Trent Baalke is a little bit more of that behind closed doors. And I don't know, man. Like, and it's so crazy. Trent Baalke probably got some confidence in thinking that he saved his job with the season last year when we were 8-3. When the team was 8-3, like, oh yeah, everyone criticized and they know what they're talking about, and it's like, I mean, you made 0 moves this year. Outside, like, you paid guys we already have. You paid guys that we already know what they got, and it's just tough because I mean, how many years we had Trent Baalke now? How many draft picks has he made?
Got to be 3 or 4 now, yeah.
How many guys? They all pro 2, 3. Out of that time, like. Play beyond Chason didn't work out.
You think?
I know, right? Man, like, oh gosh, and now he's playing pretty well with the Raiders. He's playing.
Is he? I didn't notice. Is he?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah. He's playing better than he did here.
Hey, Patrick. Before we take a quick break and wind down the show, number one, I think our trivia Pat. This is the second week he hasn't shown up. I think we scared him off. Number one.
Oh man, I was trying to come in and be the hero.
I got a couple of trivia questions if he shows up. Hey, how did the JU Dolphins look the other day when you worked the game?
They looked okay. Florida Tech, I think they played down to their level. But again, I just keep saying this, man. Like, JU is good at athletes as they have, and that kid McCray, he's really good, man. He's a great
nice player.
If they don't shoot the 3-ball, man, they don't shoot it enough.
They only shot 12. I looked at the box score. I think they only shot 12 3-point attempts. 12 in modern college basketball.
I know, right? I think they made 1 in the first half, and then I think they hit 3 or 4 more in the second. So it was not a great game, not a great showing. But Florida Tech didn't have enough juice to stay with them the end of that game. The second half they blew them out. It's crazy, man. Like, the Gators don't play until the 14th.
Yeah, they're off for a while.
Yeah, and now is the time. Like, and I hope Coach Gold's like, now is the time to like really get some schemes, some learn, like for the team to really go that other level for breaking down film. Because I just think Chinulu, and I think I said this to you. If they had Micah starting right now, hand logging over Chinulu, I think Florida's a top 5 team.
Let me ask you, what do you hate more, Patrick Young, Virginia basketball or Chinulu? You hate Chinulu, the big man.
I don't
you
hate
him. You're
a
big man from Florida. For God's
sake, I just think he's not.
You hate him.
He's not as skilled as I thought he would be. He's not. I thought he was going to be a little bit better.
Does he have to, hey, in that group of players, does he have to score, or can he be the rim protector?
He needs to be a threat to score.
You hate
because
him. What did he ever do to you?
If you're a threat to score, then a defense has to respect you. Like, you can watch the game, Sari. The guy will put a defender on his back under the basket, and they don't pass him the ball. They don't pass him the ball for a reason. They're not passing him the ball for Sari. I've been there. I'm speaking out of experience. You're like, man, I ain't throwing the ball down there because this too. Like if he and that's the thing, when he's under the basket, he's got a guy sealed. Catch, turn. Don't have to dribble it. But if he's off the block, what teams do sometimes, they double team for two reasons. One, they double team a big guy because he's really good, really, really good, and you can't stop him one-on-one. Two, they'll double team a big guy because he's really.
Oh, Patrick, we lost you. Go ahead. Oh, we lost your video audio. I want to hear this. What was the second reason they don't double team you? Come on, Pat. Oh, no. You had us, Patrick. You had us right there. He hates Ruben Chinulu, who is the big man for Florida. I don't know. Hey, Patrick, I don't know if you can hear us, and we may go to a break here for the show. The world, our viewing audience, we want to know, what did Ruben Chinulu, the Florida center on the basketball team right now, what did he do to you to make you so mad? Patrick Young, you hate this guy. I mean, I've always seen this type of anger from you when it comes to Virginia basketball, and you hate the way they've played over the years. Patrick Young is not happy. All right, we'll see if we can hook Patrick up and give us that final dissertation that he had lined up. We'll take our final break and then come back and start wrapping things up. Been a quick-moving, fast Tuesday edition, the Young and Norvelle Show from, of course, our Mandarin home on Tuesdays. Deep in the heart of Mandarin, you'll find us at Hurricane-Julington Creek.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream same channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who's coming to your house. You know they will be well trained, and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
Fire some trivia with
Pat's here.
Pat's here. Yep. Hey, Pat is here. Here we go. Look at all those helmets there. Gators right in the middle, heading to play Tulane. We'll talk to our buddy Kate Kistner, our baseball guy, is a Tulane guy, so he's going to do double dip next week, previewing the Soto and all the baseball stuff going on in free agency, and then the Gator baseball game. I think we things up. We got trivia, Pat. We've got Pat Young, and I've got two questions. Trivia, Pat, to lead things off. Is that okay?
Go for it.
We're doing rapid fire. We only got about 7 minutes here.
Go for it.
All right, trivia, Pat. Here's
fire.
my first question, and both of my trivias are non-sports. This date, 1901, the first Nobel Prizes were awarded.
Okay.
Multiple choice. What country hosts the Nobel Prizes?
Ooh.
Is it Sweden, Italy, the United States, or the United Kingdom? Multiple choice there, Patrick Young. I'll let you take a stab at it, Pat, and trivia, Pat.
All right.
One country hosts them. Okay.
I just feel comfortable with Sweden right off the bat.
Okay.
Pat,
You've
I don't
got
know about
Sweden.
you.
Patrick Young, what do you think?
What are the other options again?
Sweden, Italy, United States, United Kingdom.
I'm gonna go with I don't think it's the United Kingdom, and I'm gonna choose a different answer just because of Pat. I don't think it's the United States.
It is not the United States. It is not the United Kingdom. Is it Sweden or is it
Italy?
Remember, Italy had all those smart guys, Socrates and Aristotle, right? Weren't they English and all these artists? And
I'm gonna go with Sweden.
All right, he's going sweet. Y'all both got it right. Sweden hosts. Yeah, Pat. They're the host city for the Nobel Peace Prize, and they always have been. And it started in 1901.
Look at that.
Guys, let's take it back to 1868. Multiple choice.
Your birthday?
You shut your filthy mouth. No.
What?
Multiple choice. We'll ignore that comment. Multiple choice. Here are your three choices before I give the question.
All right.
London, New York City, Paris. Which city in 1868 posted the very first ever traffic lights? Paris, New York City, or London? First traffic light.
I'll let Pat.
1868.
Yeah, I'll go first this time. Ooh, man, which city in 18? The first one ever. I'm gonna go with New York.
He'll go PY, New York City. Trivia, Pat. First ever traffic light was posted in what city? London, New York City, or Paris? Paris.
I'm gonna go Paris.
Okay, so trivia, Pat, and you're both wrong. London.
Hey.
How about London goes traffic light first? They said stop, go, go, stop. All right, that's a little trivia.
They definitely said stop when it came to shaving.
Yeah. Oh, ow. Gross. All right, we've got about 5 minutes. 5 minutes, Patrick Young. Let's put our thinking cap on and let's wear this guy out again like we did the last couple weeks.
All right.
You were scared to show up last week.
Listen, it was my birthday.
It was my birthday. It was my birthday. He was scared, Patrick Young. He was scared of us.
All right. The upcoming Super Bowl
on
February 9th,
Oh, I don't know where it's
2025.
at. I have no idea where it's
What
at.
are the Roman numerals going to be for it?
Patrick Young, what are they in? They're in 59, 60. Are they in the 60s yet, Patrick? Are they
No,
in
I don't think we're in the
still?
60s yet. I think we're still in the 50s.
What do we got? 50. Patrick, you've traveled abroad. I don't know anything about Roman. It's probably Super Bowl 58, 59. What are the numbers? I don't know.
Well, then, if you think it's
X,
that's what I was gonna say.
I think it's
We
got it. That's a win. That's a win. 4 minutes left. 4
I
minutes
was-
left.
yeah.
LIX. What number is it?
Oh, bro, I don't know.
What is it?
LIX?
59?
LIX is 59.
All right, 59.
Okay.
59.
Yeah, whenever you put the
We can-
smaller, what I remember, you put the smaller number in front of the larger one, you subtract that. So, like, you
You know
know,
why the NFL does that? The real
They use Roman
reason
numerals?
they
Why?
think it made it years ago. They think it made it look more fancy.
Yeah,
It does.
Yeah.
It does. It
Yeah.
does. It does.
And
All right,
then,
Patrick, we're 1-0.
I wonder how the Romans
Why
will
would-
take it.
Those stinking Romans, I
right.
tell you. I oughta.
How many U.S. states border at least one of the 5 Great Lakes?
This is a bad question here.
No, it's a great
It's a
question.
terrible question. All right, Patrick, we got 5 Great Lakes. How many U.S. states
Border at least
At
one
least
of them.
one. Pat, what do you think? 5, 6, 4, 6, 5, 4. Pat Young. It's a dumb
6?
question. I'll tell you that.
6?
What do you think? Let's go 6.
8.
8. That's a dumb question. We're 1-1. All right, we're 1-1. Bad question. Any question about Great Lakes and bordering and 8 is wrong.
All right. Which NFL team was established in 1930 and originally played as the Portsmouth Spartans?
Oh my! All right, Pat. Let's think this through. Some of the old teams. We're just talking.
Baltimore
Green Bay
Colts,
Packers,
Green Bay Packers.
Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
The Portsmouth. Where's Portsmouth at?
Portsmouth? That's in Virginia.
Well, there might be a few of them, Pat. There might be
Oh.
one. I can't tell you.
Portsmouth. Is it in
It
Pittsburgh?
would give it away.
Pennsylvania?
I'll tell you, it's not in Pittsburgh.
Okay. Portsmouth. If we know where Portsmouth is at, we can figure it out.
But you are
Wisconsin.
you are in the right region.
Okay.
All right, Pat. We got 2 minutes. It's Portsmouth is somewhere in the Midwest, kinda. It's got to be Philly or they became the Philadelphia Eagles.
Detroit Lions.
Oh, that's a stupid question. That's a stupid. We're 1-2, Patrick Young. My bad. I'm sorry, Pat. That was my bad.
I wasn't gonna get that. You're good.
Okay, we're 1-2. We got 2 minutes, rapid fire here.
2 minutes.
Don't
Rapid
go
fire.
into 4 corners and stall on us, okay? You're trying to stall on us to make us
No.
lose.
No. All right.
Yeah, here we go.
What?
Detroit.
What kind of alcohol is used in making a Cuba Libre?
Oh man, I'm not a good alcohol mixed drink guy. Cuba Libre. Is that Hispanic drink there?
It is.
Patrick, do you know much about liquor drinks? I'm not a big liquor.
I
drink
do,
guy.
but I've never heard of that one.
Cuba Libre.
I have never heard of that drink.
Hispanic. What are tequila?
Rum.
Rum.
Yeah.
1 and 3.
All right.
1 and 3. We got
One
a
more
minute
question.
to go. Gosh darn it.
This former downhill skier.
I'm dumb today.
is-
This is dumb, Terry. Hey,
Downhill,
everybody.
downhill skier is rejoining the U.S. team 20 years after her first World Cup victory.
Lindsey Vonn.
She actually just raced the other day. Yep.
Whoa, Pat, that's my man right there.
Just pull it up.
That is my man, Patrick Young. Gosh darn it, I wouldn't have got that. I would not have got that.
Her and Tiger Woods dated.
I think.
I don't think she's that hot. I mean, she's okay. I don't think she's that hot.
I think
Pat,
Tim
she
Tebow.
was.
I think Tim Tebow dated her a little bit too, right?
She's no what's her name from
Well, Salma Hayek, but I mean,
yeah,
nobody
she
is.
knows Selma.
Hey, Patrick Young, good job with that. I wouldn't have got that. We're at least 2 and 3. Good job, trivia, Pat.
Thank you,
He'll
sir.
be here
I
starting
appreciate
at 7
Thanks,
o'clock
Pat.
every Tuesday. We appreciate you as well. We'll get out of here. Hey, Pat, good to hear from you, my friend. I know you're busy. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll be at Twin Peaks with the girls at Twin Peaks. What were you going to say, Pat?
Oh no, man! It's been a whirlwind. I've been scattered.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Scattered can be good at times. All right, we'll take it. That'll wrap it up. We'll see you tomorrow, 4 to 6. I want to thank all the friends here at Julington Creek's location of Hurricane. We're right at the base of the bridge, going over the Julington Creek Bridge. If you're in the area, you cannot go wrong. Josh, Callie, and the group, they do a super job. Wings galore, every flavor you can imagine. If you want wings, you want flavor, they've got it for you. That'll wrap it up. For the entire gang, I'm Terry Norvelle. Have a great rest of your Tuesday, everybody.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnik Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnik never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnik Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave. So
feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer. You can schedule a test drive at nimnickbuickgmc.com. And while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC.